Ever had a no-start situation after a quick trip to the store on a hot day? Probably vapor lock, my friend. Now, vapor lock is what happens when the fuel gets extremely hot and begins to boil. Now, it doesn't necessarily induce air in the line, but just like a vacuum on a system with fluid in it, the space that you pull away can create space that isn't easily compressible or movable. Now, to prevent against that, one of the things you can do is just not letting the car heat up enough to begin with. Keep the temperatures a little bit cool. The chances of vapor locking go down by a bunch. So to prevent it, we're adding an electric fan that kicks on around 170 degrees to keep the engine cool. We also swapped the water pump pulley for an overdrive pulley to keep the coolant flowing faster at idle. Also, don't forget, if your timing's too advanced, it can make the car run hotter and cause starting issues.